How do you know if something health related is spiritual warfare or not? Let's find out in this video. If you want to know more about this topic deeply, my book is available on this topic. You can find the link of the book in the description below. Determining whether a health issue is related to spiritual warfare requires careful discernment. In my first blog of this series, I shared how spiritual warfare can manifest in various ways, including physical sickness, as seen in the story of Job. Job's suffering was not merely a result of physical cause, but was direct attack from Satan, permitted by God to test Job's faithfulness. We read that in Job 2:7. This account shows that spiritual forces can indeed cause physical ailments, making it essential to discern whether an illness is purely physical or has a spiritual component. Lord Jesus also taught that some illnesses could be caused by the enemy, though not all. Throughout his ministry in the New Testament, Jesus healed many people, some of whom had illness caused by spiritual warfare, while others did not. For instance, in the book of Luke 4:38 to 41, Jesus healed Simon's mother-in-law from a high fever by rebuking it, using the same authority he used to cast out demons. This indicates that the fever may have had a spiritual cause. Jesus' actions demonstrates his authority over both the physical and the spiritual realms, and his method of healing involved discernment, the root cause of the affliction. When considering if a health issue is related to spiritual warfare, prayerful discernment is essential. This involves seeking God's guidance to understand whether an illness is physical or spiritual. In the book of James 1:5 encourages us to ask God for wisdom, who gives generously to all without finding fault. Through prayer, God can provide clarity and discernment regarding the nature of the sickness. It is crucial to involve God in this situation to gain the insight, indeed to address the root cause of the illness, whether it is by physical or spiritual. To practice prayerful discernment, start by praying and talking to God about the illness, whether it affects you or someone close to you. Seek His guidance on the matter. Additionally, gather a few church leaders or fellow believers who understand spiritual warfare and pray together for the person who is sick. There are few signs we need to understand if spiritual warfare is involved or not. One such sign is when medical science is unable to diagnose an issue with health despite numerous tests and consultations. This inability to find a medical explanation can indicate that the illness has a spiritual cause. Another sign is if the person suffering from an illness or sickness is having nightmares related to that condition, which may suggest the involvement of spiritual warfare. Because many times I have seen the people who are suffering with sickness, especially under the influence of warfare, they will have bad dreams and nightmares. The dreams of death, the dreams of destruction, they would often see. This indicates that there is a spiritual warfare involved. Additionally, it is important to check the family history of the person suffering from that illness. Sometimes, someone in their family, such as their parents, might have experienced the same sickness when they were at that same age as this person is. This pattern can indicate a generational curse and spiritual warfare, because in the book of Exodus 25 speaks about the iniquity of the fathers being visited upon the children to the third and the fourth generation, suggesting the generational curse can affect subsequent generations. Another common indicator of spiritual warfare is if a person feels sick in one geographical location but feels better and shows no symptoms when they travel to another location. This change in the health with a change in the location can indicate that the sickness is a result of spiritual attack tied to that specific place or house or location. In the book of Acts 19 chapter 13 to 16 describes how certain places can have spiritual significance and how spiritual forces can operate differently depending on the location. By recognizing these signs and seeking God's wisdom and guidance, we can better discern the nature of health issues and address them effectively through prayer and faith.